Bună ziua și bine ați venit la o nouă emisiune Aventurile Lumea Vinului. Astăzi îl avem invitat pe Francois Bannier. Francois Bannier este proprietarul și enologul cramei Hecht&Bannier. Welcome, Francois. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. I know Hecht&Bannier. It's a new winery established in 2002. But yet you already have many wines that have received very high ratings from the international wine critics. Can you please tell us a little bit more about the history of the winery and also a little bit of the wines?
Sure. So thank you for inviting me. Hecht&Bannie is a company that I settled with my friend Gregory Hecht 10 years ago. Actually, we met as a student in Burgundy. We learned together how to make wine. And you know, like many friends, you spend some evenings chatting and talking about in the future I would like to make blah blah blah. And at the end of it, 10 years ago, we decided to settle our own company, Hecht&Bannier, which is a negociant-eleveur company for the Mediterranean French wine. The story about French Mediterranean is strange because certainly Languedoc, Roussillon, Provence do not get the reputation of Bordeaux or Champagne in France. But it's quite unfair, actually, because vineyards from the Mediterranean are the oldest French vineyards. We are talking about 25 centuries of winemaking history. And this is not our region. I mean, I'm from Bordeaux. My partner is from Alsace. We learned in Burgundy. But eventually, this is in southern France that we decided to settle something, just to reveal the incredible potential of quality of wines from the Mediterranean. So we started, as you said, 10 years ago, and yes, it's now our 10th vintage, which is released, and we have been very lucky, as you said, to have nice rates, nice stuff from Wine Spectator, Wine Advocate, etc. So it's a great encouraging for us to carry on.
You mentioned that you are a negociant-eleveur. Can you please explain what does that mean?
Yes, sure. It's not very... Negociant-eleveur is a traditional business of company from Burgundy, for example. Negociant-eleveur, it means that you have no vineyards or just a little bit of vineyards and that you will buy grapes or wine and make your own assemblage, as we say, your own blend, by taking what you like best and make your own selection. So typically, all our wines are always a blend of 5 to 10 growers that we like, enjoy, and pick what we like best and make our own selection. So negociant-eleveur, it's like, you know, for kids that grow up, you know, it's yes, just you take the raw material and you try to make it grow to the highest level of quality you can make through aging.
Can you please tell us how this elevating process exactly takes place? Do you buy the grapes and then what is happening?
We buy the grapes, we make vinification. Sometimes we buy the wine, but usually very, very early after malolactic fermentation. And a huge focus is for us on the aging, élevage. For these wines, which are from the Mediterranean, I mean, they are already powerful with a lot of fruit, tannins, power, etc. So the idea of the élevage is not to get more power. It's quite on the contrary, try to smooth this, to dump this wildness. And for that, we use mainly a traditional barrel from southern France, which is called demi-muids, which is the biggest barrel you can make. The biggest barrel that one man can handle. It's 600 liters. So compared to a Burgundy or a Bordeaux barrel, which is 220 liters, it's 3 times bigger. Can you imagine? Okay. So it means that compared to a Burgundy barrel, you have, of course, less wine in contact with the oak. So you're not working on the oaky character of it. Okay. It's much more about the smoothness, the micro-oxygenation you can get through this long aging in these barrels. Especially also because we have long aging. It's almost 2 years. Because for me, you make the wine on the second winter. You know, it's ready on this at this time that you have this nice polishing, velvety tannins in the wines.
Can you please tell us a little bit of each individual wine? What is the predominant grape, for example, and also what it is that you propose to taste today?
So we work on the 3 districts, Roussillon, Languedoc and Provence. As said, all the wines are blends, but they are also blends of varietal. It's never unique, Syrah or Grenache or Carignan wine. In Roussillon, we produce Maury, which is sweet wine. and Côte-du-Roussillon village, which is based on Grenache. In Languedoc, we have Minervois, Saint Chinian, and Faugère. I think these appellations are just what he's talking about, but very unknown appellations, but very specific, and we will test a few of them. And in Provence, we make a Bandol. And we will test together today two wines which are, I think, really interesting to compare. The Saint Chinian, which is a wine based on Syrah, about 70% of Syrah, plus Grenache and Mourvèdre, and wines from the Roussillon, Côte-du-Roussillon village, which is based on Grenache, with also Syrah and Mourvèdre to complete.
So we'll start with the first wine. Can you please tell us?
Yes, the first one is going to be a Minervois, which is a Syrah-based wine. So it's not pure Syrah, but it's about 85% of Syrah, plus a little bit of Grenache and Carignan.
I see that we're also tasting a 2009 vintage. Perhaps you can also tell us a few words about the vintage, 2009 and also 2010, because 2010 will probably be available very soon.
On the Romanian market, you will have both vintage available following the appellations, but 09 and 10, and you are quite lucky because these are two great vintages. Very close. Vintage 2010 being maybe a little more acidic than 09, but two very ripe and full, plenty vintage. Also, compared to other regions in France or Italy or whatever, we enjoy wonderful conditions, meaning it's southern France, it's ripe, we have sun, etc. So differences between one vintage to another is usually not very important. I mean, it's not so big like in Bordeaux when you can have a huge differences between, for example, 10 and 11 vintages, which are very, very different. For us, there is never such a difference from one vintage to another. So Minervois for me is really a Mediterranean guy. I mean, it's immediately open with this wild aromas of garrigue, of pepper, this rosemary, said thyme, earthy wine, which is definitely something that I like to pair with myself. If I am at home, if I'm having a pizza, for example,
yes,
I love to have a glass of Minervois. I think it's really a very nice pairing.
But on the nose, it's already so well developed, and everything is so balanced on the nose. It's amazing.
Thanks to this long aging we have with the wine to use, it's really for us key that when we launch a wine on the market, they are ready to be enjoyed, to be drinkable. And Syrah in Minervois, I said, is an easygoing wine. I mean, it's immediately, whoa, I'm here. Enjoy, get fun. You know, it's just the slight maturity without any kind of heavy loudness or whatever. It's really a very quaffable, enjoyable, drinkable wine.
It is indeed, and the balance, it's amazing. I mean, this one, it's very easy to drink, and it leaves you quite a very good aftertaste. And there is something a little bit sour, a little bit, very, very little, which is very, very nice because I think that it also gives some freshness. So this is very nice expression of Minervois. I know that just as we said at the beginning of the interview, you already received a lot of very good ratings from the international wine critics. Yeah. Do you know what is the rating for this wine?
Yes, we are lucky to have all our wines are rated between 90 and 94, 95. I think this Minervois is a 90 or 91. I'm not sure, but you must have a look at our website, Hecht&Bannier.com, when you have all the rates and all details.
I believe that this one it received 90 points from Wine Spectator. If it is I believe this. Yeah. Let's try the other one to see another different expression of Shiraz. That's the nose is already different.
That's Saint Chinian. Saint Chinian is a little vintage which is north of Béziers, which is on the first hills of the Massif Central. And it's a single appellation, Saint Chinian, but you have three very different terroirs. You have some limestones, you have some clays, and you have some schist. You know, this black tails, very rustic stuff. And Syrah enjoys this schist, this black schist. and you have a mineral character which is very, very strong. The balance of the wine is different. Less alcohol because it's also a cooler place. And Syrah there intends to get into this kind of floral bouquet of réglisse, tulips, iris, kind of stuff. I mean, it's very often a wine that people think is a Côte Rôtie or Saint Joseph because it's really on this side of the Syrah character. A fresher, cooler expression.
Okay. So, Francois, can you also give us more information about this wine and why is it also so special?
Bandol is special because Bandol is linked to a varietal, which is quite unique. I mean, Bandol is Mourvèdre like Barolo is Nebbiolo. It's that kind of shortcut we can make. And I mean, definitely Mourvèdre is not an easy guy. I mean, it's very late ripening varietal, meaning that you harvest in October, so which is really late, with huge concentration. And if you go too far, you got a lot of diseases and everything. So it's really very precise and difficult.
Sensitive.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah. Also, the berries of Mourvèdre are quite small with huge seeds inside. So if you work too hard on vinification, too much on extraction, you have this harsh vegetal tannins, which make the wine quite impossible to enjoy when young. You need them, which is a paradox. You need this tannic structure, but you don't want too much. So it's just a question of how you get into it.
Okay. And this wine is also aged for 2 years in barrels.
In the legislation of Bandol, you must have a minimum 18 months aging in foudre. So usually 10 to 50 hectoliters big wood barrels.
But 18 months time, that's a very long time. That means that, and I know that the wines from Bandol, they are not very expensive. That means that they are very good value for money.
Not so good. I mean, it's quite expensive. Also, yeah. The thing is, Bandol is, as you know, a very touristic region as well. So a lot of the Bandol is drink locally.
Okay.
And a very high proportion of Bandol now is rosé. It's about 80%, which is quite nonsensical for me because Mourvèdre is a great varietal for making red wine, which is historical.
Yes.
So it's not cheap. I mean, it's quite difficult. It's a long aging, so you usually don't get a wine for little money on the market. So it's quite expensive, also because there are so much rosé.
Okay. But however, being a red wine in an area where 80% of the wines are rosé, this is also quite a unique opportunity and for people to taste something different.
It's very unique. I mean, for wine lovers, to enjoy Mourvèdre, it's really Bandol. Mourvèdre, you call it Monastrell in Spain, it's the same varietal. But it's quite unique where you can taste almost a pure Mourvèdre, and definitely Bandol is a place where it comes from. You have different places, different areas within Bandol. We source in 3 different terroirs. But you have definitely this heavy expression of Mourvèdre on limestone, which is dominant in the blend.
The wine is very good. I like it. I already tasted it and I like it. And usually, as the wines made from Mourvèdre, they age. Can you please tell us also what type of aromas or what type of flavors do they get?
After a bunch of years of aging, the wines get into this earthy character, which is almost like leather.
Yes.
And this kind of Habana, precious wood. This kind of feeling of having a walk in a forest in September, in winter, with the dead leaves on the floor and that kind of earthy character. It's usually wine that people pair with wild birds or wild porks, all the gibier, as we say. It's really that kind of earthy stuff.
Even on the nose right now, I think you can feel a little bit of some type of beef bloods and some type of animal like game a little bit.
A little bit of game. Also, it has for me this kind of strange but red orange. It's kind of zest of
Yeah.
orange character.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's going definitely into, as you said, I agree, this blood
Yeah.
game, strong stuff. Yes.
And this is the very first vintage that you're making out
Yes,
of Bandol.
it's my first vintage in Bandol. 09. I was very excited to make this wine. This was, I mean, Bandol is a wine for connoisseurs, a wine for wine lover.
Yes.
It's a small appellation, lots of rosé, as we said, and it's really a place where a wine lover want to go because it's unique, and there are some very old domains there, and lots of people have discovered Bandol thanks to this Dampier, Pibarnon, Prado estates, and they have just a memory saying, I remember Prado 90.
Well, the wine is very, very interesting, and I think that anybody that wishes to try this this specific grape, I think that this is a great opportunity, and the wine I like it. I mean, I really like it, and even if it is the first vintage, I think it's very good, and I believe that judging by this, the next vintage should be in the same line. And as you said, 2010 was also a very good vintage.
Not in Bandol, unfortunately.
Oh, not in Bandol.
The great vintage is in Bandol going to be 11.
2011. Okay.
And yes, I mean, it's for vintage, so we work hard, and I think we'll carry on trying to improve the quality of the blends.
Okay.
But for what I have in aging now for 11, I'm very excited to have this wine launch.
Any ratings with this wine?
About to come.
About to come. Okay. Thank you very much for your presence, and thank you very much for showing this wine. I like it, and I hope that people that are watching us are also going to enjoy it as much as I did.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.